Alright y'all, what's going on? So here's the deal for today's video. Today is October 6th, 2021. It is the early start of Q4. Q4 means quarter 4, October, November, and December. Q4 of any year is always the busiest shopping time of the year, especially in the e-commerce world. It's not uncommon to match what you've done in sales for the first 9 months in the last 3 months. At least that's what I'm told. This is my second Q4. Last year I was just getting started. But anyway, I have to go to Orlando. I live down in South Florida, so it's about 3 hours away. My dad lives up there, but my other business is a brewery touring business called Damn Good Beer Bus, and we're hoping to bring that into other markets. So we're going to this franchise expo that we've committed to months ago. So I was going up there regardless. My dad lives up there. It's this upcoming weekend. Today is a Wednesday. I am getting ready to hit the road. I'm gonna source all the way up, all the way down, and any free time I have as well. I have some goals for the weekend, or the week I should say, of trying to spend somewhere between $3,000 and $5,000, because as someone who strives for 100% return on investment, that means I would make between $3,000 and $5,000. So I'll take you guys along for the ride, and let's get going. Before we get going, gotta say goodbye to the Duke, man. Huh, buddy? You be a good boy?
Love this guy. The best. The best.
Love that guy. Repeat after me. My daily coffee is not making me broke. My daily coffee is not making me broke. My daily coffee is not making me broke. It's not the coffee, folks. So I figured this would be a good time, before I forget, kind of what my game plan is for day one, okay? So as I mentioned earlier in the intro, I'm in South Florida, West Palm Beach. I'm going to Orlando. It's about 3 hours. So I could, in theory, stop a lot of times along the way to Orlando, and I'm going to stop sporadically in calculated areas, like a couple pit stops, but in major exits with a lot of stuff right off the highway. But I'd rather be efficient, right? So like when I get to Orlando, it's going to be a cluster within a 20-mile radius, hundreds and hundreds of stores, right? So rather than stopping and having to go off the beaten path, I'm kind of working my way up there. And once I'm there, I'll be efficient and effective. Tomorrow and the ongoing days, I'll kind of have a premeditated route or section. Today, I'm kind of just working my way up there. In general, I'm going to stores that I'm already familiar with. This isn't the time to start trying to find new stores and spending time scanning everything in a new store. I'm going to stores I've been to, stores I've been successful with, kind of know what brands and what sections to be looking at. Again, I'm trying to hit as many stores as I can that I've already had success with throughout my time selling on Amazon. And basically now I'm just taking advantage of getting to go to, I don't know, 50 or 100 new locations. All right. So I just wanted to fill you in on kind of my mindset. Granted, when I am at each store, I'm still going to be like thorough and check everything out. I'm just not necessarily trying to find new one-off items for the big picture. I want to be as efficient with my time as I possibly can while at each store, while on the trip. And I'm going to stores that I already know fairly well. All right, so also I just got out of Michael's. This was my second store of the day that I visited, so I'm still early in the process. I just want to be very honest and open that I walked away with nothing, okay? There wasn't too much that I was looking at, but I'm in this plaza that has a lot of stores. I was due for a break anyway. I've had success there. Just at this store, I walked away with nothing. I think it's really important to share to people, especially if you're newcomers, that happens, and it happens a lot, and especially early on. Now, if I stayed there and I wanted to like dive under every single shelf and category, would I find stuff? 100%. But again, for what I'm doing, I'm not necessarily trying to reinvent the wheel on this trip. I'm trying to go to stores I've had success with, look at certain sections that I know exactly what I'm looking for, maybe scan the clearance and keep it moving. But just know it's very common, especially early on, and even throughout. Here I am a year and a half later, you still walk away sometimes with nothing. All right, so it's just part of the game, and just know that I always want to be real and honest about stuff like that. That was absolutely fire. I'm not gonna lie, I've been known to have that twice in one day sometimes. Once in Orlando, once in Jacksonville while traveling on multiple occasions. We're not gonna do that, but it's not above me. So here's day one, nothing too crazy. Alrighty guys, so as you can see, different background. I'm at my dad's house. Shout out to this guy right here. But real quick recap, today was a grinder of a day. I went to a lot of stores. None of them were like home runs, but that's just part of the game. Ended up spending about $650. I share that because as someone who strives for 100% return on investment, that means I likely made around $650. So I know that number is not bad for a day's work, but I've had much better for the amount of time I put in. That's part of the game. Tomorrow, Thursday, day 2, is going to be much more strategized now that I'm here. I'm going to make a list. I'm going to do Google searches of my favorite stores, and I'll pick up with you guys tomorrow. All right? Alrighty. Day 2. All right, y'all. Day 2. I am in the parking lot outside of my first store for today. Just want to kind of give you a rundown of what the deal is. First things first, though, got a shout out. I got 2 good friends that have businesses. Dan Ryan's Pressure Cleaning in Palm Beach County, Florida. Baked Bagels, Leesburg, Virginia. Shout out to you guys. Anyway, I digress. I lost my train of thought for a second, but yeah. Oh, game plan for today. So last night and this morning, I literally just went online, typed in some of my favorite stores, kind of made a map and a general game plan for today. Literally just wrote it on my notepad. So we're going to hit like 5 different pockets of Orlando, go for a lot of my favorite stores that I do well at down south that just happen to be open here as well. In addition to that, today is Thursday. My local grocery chain Publix comes out with new BOGOs every Thursday. I always go through that, okay? There's a cosmetic company that does BOGO like twice a year, and that came live today. I can't buy more product than I can sell. It's one of those absolute home run brands, so I'm pumped about that. Also, I do a lot of coffee sales. Publix always has BOGO coffees. Not all the brands are so good. There's a good one today, especially because they make a lot of seasonal coffees and K-Cups. So I'm going to do really well with that. If I just did Publix's, I would do really well this week, and I'm going to. I'm going to load up on this stuff, but I also have all the other stores. So anyway, whereas in yesterday was like a grind to spend $650 over the course of the full day, I think we'll be getting to that relatively quickly and probably spending a couple $1,000s today. If I had to ballpark, close to 2. That's just my guess. And like I said earlier, I try to make $1 profit for every dollar I spend, which is 100% return on investment. So with that said, enough talking, let's get to it. Alrighty guys, so I'm at stop number 2 now. The first stop was just a Publix, and as I suspected, did incredibly well with just the BOGOs and then some of their clearance stuff as well. Couple things I want to mention while it's fresh on my mind. One, you know, even I know I have so many stores I want to hit today, and I get this sense of urgency, or that I need to get going or moving to the next spot. Fortunately, I've been doing this long enough. I just reminded myself, going to many stores is not better than going to just one or two or a couple stores and not scanning them properly. Okay, so if you're gonna do it, give it the proper time and attention. Now again, on my trip, I'm not trying to find all these new products this particular trip, but whether it be if you're just in one store and you bounce around from section to section to section, take your time. Okay, going to many stores doesn't mean more profit. I know we naturally as humans want that instant gratification. Take your time, see the store through until you move on to the next one. Okay, also another thing I want to mention, I don't know if this is for a lot of stores, but I know Publix, the grocery store I was at, I had a clearance item ring up incorrectly. Make sure you're paying attention at checkout, okay? The reason I say that, for one, I would have paid too much, but on the flip side, if something rings up incorrectly at Publix, they'll give you one of those items for free. So it just reduced my cost from A, not paying too much, to now not only paying what I should be, to getting one of the two products for free. So it literally reduced my cost in half. And I've done that, or I say I've done that. That's happened a lot to me at Publix. So pay attention when you're checking out. Other than that, store number 2. Here we go. I need to show you guys. Yo, look at that eye. Look at that eye. I don't know, hundreds of millions of dollars, not billion-dollar company. They paint over the one piece? Come on now. Come on. Too heavy. Days. So here's day 1, nothing too crazy. And then day 2, I really filled up, and we still have several more half days to go. Alright guys, so today is day 3. You'll see I'm outside of a grocery store, Publix, which I go to all the time. Damn good beer bus. This is me being artistic. Day 3, giving you a different view of where we're starting the day from. First in the bus, I think I started the first day at the house. So yeah, this is me in my artistic element here. So anyway, real quick recap. Yesterday was an awesome day. I spent about $1,350. That combined with the $650 in day 1, my all-in spend is around $2,000, so that's what I'm projecting profit, $2,000 profit, because I strive for 100% ROI, which is return on investment. Basically, every dollar I spend, I hope to make a dollar. That's always my game plan. So as far as today goes, I'm here just as a reminder because I have a franchise expo. So I'm bringing the physical vehicle into a convention center on display, and it's gonna be parked there for the weekend. My dad's gonna scoop me up. I will have access to his car. But so anyway, I say that to say I have a half day today of sourcing. I'm gonna knock in a couple hours. It's about 10 a.m. Got my coffee, got a gym, hit a couple Publixes this morning on the way back from those, and take you guys along with me. So I did kind of the bulk of it yesterday. Yesterday was all in, and today I'm gonna hit a lot of Publixes. Those are in and out. I know exactly what I'm looking for. They're all over the place. There's 2 items or 2 brands on BOGO with a bunch of different items that I do really, really well with. I'll scan the clearance while I'm there. I hope to hit, I don't know, 6, 7 stores, and then we'll be on our way. All right, so let's go have day 3. All right, guys, I got 2 tips for you while they're fresh on my mind. They're kind of jokey, but I'm dead serious. One of them, if you have to go to the bathroom while you're sourcing, do that first. Get it out of the way so that you're not antsy, uncomfortable, rushed, whatever it is. Take care of business, all right? So that's one. The other thing, I've went into stores before and I thought I knew exactly what I'm going to be getting, and so like I've used one of those little like hand baskets instead of a shopping cart, and then I see more and more items and I find myself more inclined to walk by or seek out additional purchases because I'm confined to my basket. And I didn't really realize that until one day I was doing it, and in normal times, or if I had a shopping cart, I would have stopped and scanned a lot more items. I'm sure there's some human psychology behind that, but just those two things. Use the restroom before you're sourcing if you have to go, or stop and go use it, and take a shopping cart even if you don't think you're going to need it. All right? People have to think I'm absolutely nuts. I'm gonna grab the phone and show you what my setup looks like. They probably think I'm like streaming a show while I'm grocery shopping. Look at that thing. All right, so here we are cleaning the vehicle, getting ready for the Franchise Expo. We got a special visitor here, Toby, visiting. Lane's dog sitting him. Cruising downtown Orlando. I was a passenger here. Don't worry about it. Here we are at the Franchise Expo, setting up. Day of turning in the vehicle. Back to Starbucks, baby. All right, y'all. Day 4. Coming live from my dad's vehicle. It's like a little tiny convertible thing that he's holding on to. It's red, but anyway, the bus is parked inside of the convention center, which is where I'm outside of right now. Again, this is more about selling on Amazon, but I own a brewery touring business, Damn Good Beer Bus. I'm going to plug that. But we're set up here. I'm in Orlando because I committed to this Franchise Expo. We're trying to grow into other markets. And so I made an extended stay of it, staying with my dad, doing a bunch of shopping for Q4 while I'm up here. Day 3 was another success. I had about a half a day because I had to bring the bus in. I haven't done the totals, but probably if I had to ballpark, $600 to $800 spent in half a day. Really doing well with Publix and the BOGOs going on. So other than that, can't really shop today. I might hit a few places on the way home. Same tomorrow, and then I'll hit up places as I work my way home, either Sunday night or Monday. So today's not so much shopping, just the Franchise Expo. But I do want to point out this is a great example that you can do Amazon in addition to an already established job or business, nights, weekends, whatever. Amazon hours are not specific at all. You just got to put them in. All right. I'll take you guys inside a little bit, and we'll pick up the Amazon stuff once the expos are done. All right. Later. Alrighty guys, so it's Monday morning. I'm back home. First things first, look who we got here. We got a little Sleeping Beauty going on. So yeah, I want to show you guys inside the bus. I got back late last night after the Franchise Expo, which went really well. And so I want to show you now what we're working with. Now keep in mind, I pretty much bought all of these things in just 2.5 days. The vehicle was tied up at the expo, and I loaded this thing up. So as you can see here, we got a lot of stuff. So now is kind of the least favorite part of it. I have to bring it inside. I have to enter it all in the computer. I have to pack it and ship it all to Amazon. Once I do that, I'll give you more of a breakdown of my total spent as far as like how much money I spent, an idea of the time, the products, in a generality of what I bought, and projected profit, the reason we're doing all this. So yeah, let me unload and we'll go from there. All right, so that's everything here. All these boxes, they're all about, minus the small ones, they're all about 50 pounds, which is the maximum that we can do. All right, I gotta show you guys this. So I'm getting loaded up and I'm gonna drop off all my boxes at UPS. I went inside for like a minute and I come outside. For one, look, this little Marvin.
Hey, buddy.
But so, I come out here, Duke loves his car rides. See all the boxes we got going on? Filled to the brim. But then look, I left the door open. Look at this guy. Dookie, come on buddy, I can't take you. Plot twist, definitely gonna take him for a car ride. Alrighty guys, so just want to conclude the video. I have all of my numbers, all of my goods are packed in boxes, loaded up, about to hit the UPS store. By the way, you can schedule UPS pickups just for a variety of reasons. I'm taking it to them. Conversation for another day though. So anyway, first things first, I want to mention that you'll see from the video, I shared pictures of all of the stores that I hit. Now, not maybe every single store, but no different, like if I hit Publix, you saw that I hit Publix. There's no stores that I didn't hit, brand of stores that you didn't see. Point being this, I'm making really good money on everyday stores, okay? I'm not finding these one-off hidden gems that are like an Indian supermarket specialty store. Now, I'm not saying I haven't tried that, but that's not my bread and butter. Anybody can go to the stores that I'm going to if they're in your area, and a lot of these are national chains, okay? Publix, Sprouts, Whole Foods, Michael's, and so many more. Kohl's, I can go on and on down the list. So that's one thing we need to make sure that we're on the same page about. I am buying everyday goods. I do a lot of grocery, topical supplements, stuff like that. But when I was a beginner, I only stayed within the lines of what you were allowed to sell, what you got ungated in naturally, and then I did get ungated in grocery because I saw that was such a great opportunity, okay? So anyway, on to the numbers. Again, as I mentioned, I'll continue to mention throughout my channel, I typically strive for 100% return on investment, meaning if I spend $1, I make $1. So when I'm spending money, I typically know how much profit I'm gonna make, and you hear me probably say that a couple times throughout the video, and I was pretty close. I've done it enough. So my total spend for the trip on cost of goods was $2,971, okay? Again, plenty of shopping. I didn't show you every single bit, but that makes sense. Keep in mind, I really only shopped for 2 full days, a half day, a full day, and then another half day, all right? I didn't do as many day shoppings as I had planned on because my vehicle and my time were limited, all right? My projected profit, meaning that what I'm listing those at today would be $3,311. So again, I spent $2,971 to make $3,311 for a 111% return on investment. Now, some of those things will sell higher than that, and some of them will sell lower than that. So even if I take that number of 3,311 profit and I reduce it down to 80%, so I take that profit and I times it by 0.8, I would still make $2,376 on this trip for a 71% return on investment. I think that using that 80% rule is more of like a worst case scenario. I absolutely expect it to be higher than that, especially going into Q4. But if all else fails, I'm very confident that I'll make over $2,300, okay? I spent about 16 total hours sourcing. I spent about 10 hours packing. It was rigorous, a lot of packing to be done for a total of 26 hours, ballpark $90 to $100 profit per hour. Now, supplies, basically I just bought boxes, a little bit of tape. You know, everything else is like a fixed expense at this point. Let's call it 20 bucks for the 6 or 7 boxes that I bought and a little bit of tape that I used. You could add gas to this as well. I didn't keep track of that because frankly for me, I had to go to Orlando anyway, so it's kind of a sunk cost. but even if it was $150, that would bring those two expenses only to $170. So if you subtract that from the 2,376, we'd still be looking at, I didn't do this math ahead of time, basically $2,200 profit. Complete outright profit. This is getting my cost of goods money back and then the profit after that, and Amazon's keeping their fees too before they give it back to us. So that is true profit. I had the franchise expo, I could have gone harder. This was my first road trip of Q4 and I'm just getting started. So I just want to give you some numbers so that you can truly understand what's out there. Again, everyday goods. So I would say all in all, a very successful trip. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, but also learned a couple of tips and tricks along the way. Other than that, if you have any questions, drop them below. I post more short style videos on Instagram at Duke Does Amazon. Still getting new to this YouTube thing and I'm gonna figure everything out as I go, but have a great day, guys. Thanks for watching. Take care.